Hello and welcome to day one of my year of change. I'm Max Atlas and I'm going to walk you through how today's gone. For the most part, let me say it went quite well. Obviously, I'm feeling nervous about everything, about the food, the diet, the exercise. I mean, don't get me wrong, it feels good. It feels good to be making a change, but generally, you're not going to see any benefits on day one of a healthy plan. That being said, mentally, the challenge is definitely helping and definitely something I'm enjoying. And the feeling of healthiness, even though my body wouldn't have time to adapt yet, the feeling of making a positive change in itself is actually quite powerful. So I'm certainly happy with the progression there. If you check out the blog link below, you'll see the daily update photograph. Obviously, you're not going to see any change yet in my body comp, but I'm just going to keep it up, keep going, hold myself accountable, which is the most important thing. I'm currently occupying part of my wife's haberdashery, her sewing room. And that being said, it's also a storeroom / everything. And this is where the studio is. I don't know how long I can keep it up, but every day we're going to get the same photo with the same backdrop. And where possible, I'll wear the same shorts. Now, for good health is something that we all want. But the resistance you're going to feel on your journey towards good health and the temptation all around you is so obvious. I mean, obviously, I'm still very enthusiastic at this early on. But just on the way to work, driving past the KFC, the McDonald's, it's unbelievable the way it just stimulates the sense of smell and gives you that urge just to eat something that you know is not good for you, but still the temptation is right there. And also habit. It's actually quite difficult to break the habit, to be honest. So let's start with what I actually did do for food today. So it was like last night, yesterday evening, this morning, prepping my food before work was definitely a new experience for me. It's all in the blog below what I actually had today, and you can keep up to date with that. But fundamentally, it was fulfilling, it was tasty, and definitely the salad, which I'm not limiting in this early stage of the experiment, was enough to fill me up. The other thing I found is it actually takes a bit longer to chew, to savor, to enjoy. So I found by the end of the meal, rather than just stuffing it in, I was able to actually enjoy it and feel full. This is something I believe is a chemical reaction with a signal sent from the stomach to the brain. I'll find out more about that in the coming weeks, I guess, as I have time to read. But the meal planning was certainly a surprising benefit so far, and one I hope I can keep up. Absolutely enjoyable. The next thing I'm going to look at every single day is what I call an accountability planner. And this accountability planner is basically breaking down my day. And I've gone hourly today, which actually probably isn't enough. So tomorrow, once I make the time, I'm going to break it down to half-hourly sections. All the gurus I've read about recommend this method of taking accountability of your time. One particular guy I've been listening to recently is Jordan Peterson. He seems to come up with an accountability of the day. He talks about planning. It doesn't have to be completely strict, but at least if you achieve some of it, then it's better than achieving none of it. And I feel that while I've locked myself in quite rigidly at this early stage, I feel that fluidity of the planner and accepting you might not achieve all you set out to achieve is certainly something that has empowered me and emboldened me to move forward, making these changes. Well, now, Geo Life, Year of Change, Max Atlas, Day 1 exercise planner. Getting up a bit earlier this morning to walk. I have to say it was a bit of a slow to moderate pace, but I did it. The alarm went off. I just got up, got dressed, and got out. I also did a range of body weight exercises. One of the key things with Geo is I'm not a huge fan of public spaces. I'm not a huge fan of gyms. And obviously during COVID, there is restrictions that have come up. But even if it wasn't for that, it's something that I enjoy to do in my own company, in my own solitude. Plus, I'm a bit shy, to be honest, when it comes to going to gyms, when it comes to public exercise. And also, I didn't want to spend a fortune on exercise equipment. So, for example, for my resistance training, I've just grabbed some of the rice out of the kitchen cupboard, and my wife keeps like 20, 30 kilos of it. I guess in case of emergencies, I don't know. And I've took a 5-kilo bag, filled it up into 2 bags, measured it onto the scales in the kitchen, and then just used that for my resistance training, which was certainly good to have that resistance aspect, and also very, very easy to measure the weight. The other thing I was thinking, as the weight gets heavier, I might use my fishing scales, the pull down one with the dial, because that's probably just going to be easier. Also, I had a great idea at some point, I don't know when, I might be able to tie the sack, because it's like a Hessian sack, to a tree and use it as a punch bag. But in terms of how the exercise felt today, it felt good, but bloody hell, I am out of shape. There is no doubt about it. And I'm feeling really, really, really happy that I'm going to make these changes, and taking the accountability of the daily photograph, the daily blog, the daily podcast has empowered me very, very much. I certainly didn't realize before today, just to wrap up, quite how deep down the rabbit hole I'd gone in terms of my health and fitness. And although not entirely unexpected, it's a really rude awakening call, even with 10 press-ups that you find yourself stopping and struggling and your mind screaming to stop. But I chose not to, and I'm feeling that I will continue to rise up to the challenge. Thanks for listening, guys. Day 1, year of change. I'm Max Atlas. Change your perception, change your life. Out.